Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning black in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah, also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27, Twitter at dgoddess27, Brighton and Patreon at Queen Ahmadiyyah. Okay, so let's see who we have in here. Hello, Kathy B, Lady E, Melanated Brown is Black, LeVar Price, Howard Griffin, Cherokee Descendant King, Conscious Outlaw, Silent D, Inspired by Nature. All right. Monica, Mark Ayers. All right. I'm here, Queen, watching my favorite channel. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Okay. Now, where is Dan Rook? There he is. Hey, Dan. All right. Hey, woke one. A bit of soul cleansing. That's right. Okay. So, Monica says, hello, Queen Ahmadiyyah. I'm Black on my favorite show on YouTube. Missed the lives earlier, running errands, and left my phone at home charging. Honey, don't you hate when you leave your phone at home? I can't stand it. Okay, so thank you all for tuning black in. Right? Hello, Eon, Azan, Retta, Cassandra. So let's get into it, people. So yes, you know, I need my spiritual vitamins, and I know you all do too. So I didn't have a chance to prepare a PowerPoint tonight, so I'm just going to read to you from my notes or whatever. But also, this is going to be about, welcome back, Queen, my beautiful sister. Thank you, Blackfoot, for your kind words. So this is going to be about purifying our minds, okay? Because we walk around on a daily, many of us, you know, worried and stressed, you know, upset about things that people may have done or said to us. All of these things are negative frequencies, low vibrational, and they cloud the mind. Okay, you get bogged down. You know, if you ever notice when you're feeling these things or thinking about these things, don't you just start to feel drained, right? You feel like you have low energy. Don't feel like your normal upbeat self. That's because these things cloud the brain. They cloud the brain. And something that I want to talk about more on another live that I'm going to do, because I actually want to prepare a PowerPoint for that, because it's a very intense subject matter. But I want to talk about the role that spirituality plays on the brain. Okay, how it actually affects the brain cells and stimulation of the brain and things like that. All right. They actually have a study about it. It's called neurotheology. All right. So we're going to talk about that on another one. I can't get into all that tonight because clearly I don't have time. I have to go to the gym after I leave. I haven't worked out all day, people. So with that all being said, yeah, I want to talk about purifying our minds of negative thinking, of stressing ourselves out and worrying, and how we, you know, tend to let other people say things that stay with us and make us feel bad about ourselves, or just, you know, bring us down spiritually. How, you know, and I told you before, you need to stay away from those kinds of people. Now, you can feed them off of a long handle spoon. You can love them from a distance. But when people are being toxic to your environment, to your energy, you need to separate yourselves from them, because it's very difficult, if not impossible, to live a positive life when you are surrounded by negative people, okay, who have negative thinking and who are pessimistic as opposed to optimistic. Is what we all should be striving to be. Okay, so with that all being said, it's very important for us to also choose our words carefully. Now, remember, I told you before, anything that you say after I am is what you become. Okay, so when you're talking down on yourself and saying negative things and letting negative things that other people say about you affect your, you know, your subconsciousness, storing those things in your memory and then pondering on them later and overthinking and asking yourself, am I really doing this? You know, am I really that bad? Let me tell you something. Never let other people and what other people's perceptions of you or what other people say or think of you, never let those things dictate the narrative of your lives. Because, you know, there's some people who don't have your best interest in mind, and they will absolutely on purpose say things to make you feel bad about yourselves. There's people who will see you out here trying to chase your dreams, trying to live your best life, and they don't want to see you do it because they've made a fool out of themselves all their lives. They've wasted time. They've accomplished nothing. They've gotten nowhere. They're still stuck in the same rut, that they've always been in. They're not trying to elevate themselves. They're not trying to do anything better. They're not trying to see the bright side of the picture. They always want to focus on the negative. And the minute you start trying to focus on positive things and get away from the things you've been doing in the past that may not have been good for you, they want to draw you back in to the foolishness. And when you don't fall for it, they'll start talking down on your dreams and trying to discourage you, trying to tell you all of the reasons why you can't do what you're trying to do, to make you feel, that you can't accomplish your goals. And those people are not your friends. Yes, the negative narcissistic person is my mom. Oh my goodness. And it's kind of impossible to get away from her completely. I understand, Auntie. Let me tell you something, beloved. Like I said, you can love some people from a distance. What you should do in that case, now this is just my advice, okay? This is just my opinion. And let me say that to everyone. If you have someone in your life, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, your significant other that you're dating or whatever. It could be someone that you love dearly, but they're pessimistic and they're often negative. And Intergalactic Wit says, my mom and family too, for real, for real. Well, let me tell y'all what to do, because I have some family members like that as well, okay? And what you have to do is this. When you deal with these people, when you're around them, the best thing that I find to do is to not tell them any of my business. You see, if people don't know what's going on with you, they can't talk you out of anything, okay? They can't try to talk down to you about it. Now, these people can do this, say negative things and try to hinder your dreams and try to discourage you because we open our mouths and we tell them what we're planning. I'm going to tell you what my grandmother always told me. My grandmother always told me not to tell anyone my plans until I had already completed them. Because people will sit there and try to talk you out of it. They will talk down on it and make you not want to go out there. And you know what? Let me tell you something. If you're a person who's already kind of unsure about yourself, or you have any type of fears, or you may be doubtful that you can actually accomplish something, these people talking down to you, that's only going to reinforce those negative feelings that you already had. People talking down to you and discouraging you and telling you all the woes and the whys and you can't do this and that, that's only going to reinforce the doubt, the fears, and all the negative feelings that you already had yourself. That's why when you're trying to do something positive, you need positive people who will encourage you, inspire you, motivate you. And if you need help along the way, they can maybe give you some solutions, some good ideas to help you accomplish the goals. What you don't need is those naysayers who want to sit there and be Debbie Downers and try to talk you out of your dreams because they never achieved theirs. Okay? And sometimes that sadly is our family. That's our own family members. So in those instances, I'm going to say this to all of you. I would suggest that some things you just keep to yourself. Okay? It's like this. I was telling a friend one time, she was dating somebody and, they were having problems and she wanted to go and tell her family about it. And I said, no, don't do that. If you care about this person and you feel like you're going to be with them, just because you're upset or you're mad at whatever that person has done, don't go tell that to your family, because all they're going to do is they're not going to like the person now because you've told them these things. And then they're going to start saying a bunch of negative things. And then when you end up staying with this person, if you get married or whatever, they're going to already have preconceived notions that you caused them to have. So sometimes it's best to keep certain people out of your business. Okay? Some people, if you know they're not on your same level of thinking, if you know they don't share the same ideology as you, if you know they're not woke as you are, or if you know they're not on your level of consciousness or your vibration, you don't want to put them in your business. Because as soon as they start talking down, they're only going to lower your frequency. Either they're going to talk you out of your dreams, or they're just going to make you so upset you're going to say something to them that you may later regret, or there's some kind of way going to lower your vibrational frequency. And let me tell you something. Words are vibrations. Words are frequencies. And words are very important because every time we have a thought or anything that we create, let's put it like this. Anything that has been created was first a thought. And that's why I always tell you that thoughts are energy, right? Thoughts are energy. So it's very important to think positive thoughts. Some of the things that you think are detrimental to you, when you're thinking negative about yourself, about situations that you have to encounter, that's not to your benefit, right? It's no need to worry about things that you can't change. And it's also no need to worry, how things are going to turn out. Because if you want to think about something, try to think on the positive aspect of it. At the end of the day, thoughts become reality. Everything that was created, everything under the sun was a thought in someone's brain before it actually came to fruition. Okay? So that all being said, careful what you think and even more careful what you say, because words too have energy and vibrations. Okay? And I'm going to prove that to you in just a few moments when I show you this video by a Japanese scholar by the name of Masaru Emoto. Okay? I'm going to show you a video of an experiment that he did to prove how words have power and they have an energy, right? And so one of the things you can do to purify your mind, and I told you this the last time I spoke with you, is to stop eating and drinking toxic things, stuff full of GMOs, full of sugars, and full of sodium, things that you know are unhealthy, alcohol, tobacco, any type of drugs that you could be doing. Some of y'all might be sipping on lean. I'm not saying y'all are, but I know some of y'all probably sipping on something, okay? But at the end of the day, those things lower your vibrational frequency. And I also told you that's why they call the liquor stores spirits, because they bring on spirits, okay? And not good ones. That's why people get drunk and start acting crazy, cursing people out and ready to fight and all that. You don't need any of those things. You want things that raise your vibrational frequency. If you want to purify your mind, you have to first purify your body from the inside out. You have to do a cleansing. Maybe you want to take something, you want to do a detox, a liver detox. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just saying some of the things I do when I want to purify my mind, right? Other than trying to speak positively and give myself positive affirmations and meditating. And these are things I've already told you. But I also like to, take herbs. I take different herbs, right? I like to do a liver detox, a kidney detox. These are some things that I like to do. I like to do a parasite cleanse. Okay. I like to do a parasite cleanse. In fact, just Saturday, I went and bought me some wormwood, right? The kind you make into a tea. I went and bought that to do a parasite cleanse. And let me tell you something. A lot of people think that if you eat meat, you have parasites, but you can have parasites even if you eat a vegan diet. Okay. Yes, you absolutely can. I know many of you have probably seen the videos on TikTok where they took the strawberries and put them in the bowl of water with the salt and all those little bugs came out of there that you couldn't even see with the naked eye at first until you put them in that water with the salt. I think they put water and salt. I can't remember if they put anything else in there, but all those little bugs. And I was like, ew, are you serious right now? So you absolutely can have parasites even if you don't eat meat. And some people don't know that. So it's good to do a parasite cleanse. In my opinion, I do a parasite cleanse, at least once a year. Okay. And you also 444 watching me says, I did not know that. Yes, absolutely. CH464 says, sorry, I'm late, Queen. That's okay, beloved. But with that all being said, like you said, meditate on our chakras. Absolutely. Absolutely. And cleanse your auras. You want to cleanse your aura around you, right? And you may burn some sage. And I just bought me a huge thing of sage the other day. I didn't need it because I still had some, but I couldn't resist. And so anyway, I always try to burn sage every day. And so you want to keep your environment clean and free of negative thinking and negative people, right? If you have negative people coming by your house, when they come in, burn sage while they're there and burn it when they leave. And as I told you before, if you're burning the sage and they feel like they're, it's the smoke is bothering them, they start choking or whatever, that's because they're full of negativity 9 times out of 10. I had somebody come in my house one day, I was burning sage. They walked in and instantly started coughing. I mean, coughing to the point I thought they were going to gag. And she was like, what are you burning? And I said, sage. And she was like, can you put that out? And I said, no, maybe you want to step outside. Okay, because clearly you had some demons or something, right? The sage was bothering her that much. Queen, I burned a lot of sage, says Eric. That's good. Absolutely. Now, what I want y'all to remember is when you burn sage, right? Make sure you open a window a crack, okay? Or open the door, you know, and fan the door out. Because at the end of the day, when the sage is getting rid of the negativity, like those little demons that's running around in the house hiding in corners, when you burn the sage and you don't open the window or the door to let those demons out, all they doing is running around in the house with you. Okay? They still in there. They hiding from the sage smoke over in corners and under stuff. But when the sage goes out, they still there. Okay? So make sure you open the door or you open a window, a crack, just to let them on up out of there. All right? The negativity has to have an outlet to leave. Okay? Been doing it for 3 months now. That's good, Craig. Absolutely. So with that all being said, you want to refrain from thinking negative things. You want to try to purify your mind by thinking on the positive, focusing on the good. And remember, I told you, in anything bad, there's a little bit of good, and anything good, there's a little bit of bad. That's where you get the signs yin and yang from, okay? So always try to think on the positive. If you look at the glass, it's almost empty. You know, that's looking on the negative. But you can look at it and say, somebody else can look at that same glass and say, oh, it's half full. So it depends on how you look at things. I try to always look at things in a positive light. I try not to worry about things that I possibly can't even change, right? But there are some things that you can change. And what you can do is you can change your reality. You can change your reality by your thoughts, by your thinking, by the things that your mind creates, the things that you manifest. Say negative things, and negative things will inevitably show up at your door. Okay? And then you be sitting there wondering, this is what I didn't want. This is what I said I didn't want. But you were focusing all your thoughts and energy on it, so it showed up. When you want something good to show up, think about it. Say things that were not as though they were. I am. Anything you say after I am is what you become. Okay? In the Bible, it says, whatsoever man thinketh, that so he is. This is true. So whatever you say about yourself, that's what you will become. And whatever energy you put out, that's what will come back to you. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about the power of words. And I have a few notes I jotted down because I knew I might forget something. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word was God. Now, in the Bible, it lets you know just how powerful words are, right? And thoughts. I want you to pay attention to that because as you remember, I told you that the Bible, the teachings in the Bible came from the ancient Commissions, i.e. the ancient Egyptians, from the Book of the Dead and the ancient walls of Kemet. They took our ancestors' teachings and put them in a book and then hid them behind allegorical text to throw us off so we wouldn't be able to figure out what they meant. This is what they have done, okay? So that all being said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It's telling you there in that scripture the power of words. It goes on to tell you the power of thoughts. Whatsoever a man thinketh, that so he is. This is absolutely true. And they learned that from our ancestors, okay? They learned that from the ancient Egyptians. King James didn't come up with that, all right? So with that all being said, looking beyond the religious overtones, there is a message to be found in this for everyone. Everything begins with a word. Words consist of vibration and sound. Now, in these vibrations that creates the very reality that surrounds us. Words are the creator. And the creator of our universe, our lives, and our reality. You see, without words, a thought could not become a reality. Because first you think it, then you say it, and then you do it, right? So that's why thoughts are energies, right? So with that all being said, I'm going to say that again. Without words, our thoughts could not become reality. Now, this is something that we have been taught throughout history, as far back as the Bible. Which rights of God and whatever the word may mean to you, saying, let there be light. And as a result, there was light. Pay attention. Everything that I'm teaching you is in the Bible, right? Now, you may not have looked at it like that, But the power of manifestation that I teach you about is in the Bible. God said, and let there be light, and there was light. Manifestation, okay? Pay attention, manifestation, absolutely. Now, so what can we learn from this? You may ask yourselves, well, in our words and thoughts, they are the very tools with which we create our own reality. So surely they are our most powerful tool yet. Surely we should only pick the very best words in order to create our very best reality. So you don't want to be saying negative things about yourself, even if things look grim. Sometimes things can turn for the better. Never sell yourself short. Never feel like you're on your last leg and you have no way to go. Because what you need to realize, when you're down, people, when you're really down, right? There's no way to go but up. That's what you have to remember. There is no way to go but up. And like I told you, when I was a little girl, 9 or 10 years old, I told you there was a teacher who had a sign hanging in the classroom, and I never forgot this. It said, when you feel, it had a picture of a rope tied into a knot, and it had like a little cat hanging on. And it said, when you feel like you've come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. And I always remember that because I had a difficult childhood. I went through a lot of, trauma when I was a child. I had a difficult road. And I was often depressed, and sad and things like that. And I used to have conversations with God. I used to literally talk to God. When I remember being like 4 and 5 years old, I would have conversations with God, right? But so when you are having problems and going through things, I always try to look on the bright side and have conversations with the Most High. Because trust me, the Most High would love to hear from you. And here's the thing. Many people don't even pray. The Most High doesn't even cross their mind until things go bad, until they find themselves in a jam. Everything's falling apart around them. The whole life's in a shambles. Now they want to call on God. Let me tell you something. You should call on God all the time, every day, for whatever reason, okay? God should always be at the forefront of your mind. That's why I tell you very often, always remember to keep the Most High first in your life. I tell you that often because that's exactly what we all need to do. Keep the Most High first in your life, right? So many of our people put God, the Most High, in the back, in the rear view. And then when things go bad, they want to start calling on God. That's not the time to call. You should talk to God at all times. I mean, you don't even have to be praying, asking for something. You can pray just to say thank you, give gratitude. Here's the thing also that some people don't do often enough. Show an attitude of gratitude. You see, whatever you have, whether it's a lot or a little, if you show appreciation for it, if you show gratitude and that you're grateful for just whatever you have, no matter how big or small, then things will come to you in abundance. Things will grow and come to you. I promise you, you'll attract things to you like a magnet. But if you have just a little bit and you're just ungrateful and you're constantly being pessimistic, and complaining and whining and groveling and talking down and being so negative and hating on other people, because that's what some people do, hate on other people because other people have something they want. They don't realize they can have the same thing. They can have the exact same thing. I thank God every day that I have never had to be a hater. I have never had to be a hater. And I can say that with all honesty. Because anything that somebody ever had that I wanted, you know what I would do? I would go to them and talk to them about it. I remember when I was in my early 20s, there was an older lady that I worked with, and I looked up to her. And I asked her, because she had a nice house. She had a brick house, honey. And so I went to her, and I was asking her, what did you have to do to get your house? And do you know she wouldn't tell me anything? She kept changing the subject. Oh, I had to go through a lot. I said, but like what? Oh, honey, it's a lot of stuff you have to do. And I was like, okay, why is she beating around the bush? But then I realized she didn't want to tell me how to get a house. Clearly, okay? But you know what? That didn't matter because I researched and went and found out things for my own. And I went to a home buyer's class and I learned about, fixing my credit. I learned about paying off debts, right? And I learned about all these things. And then within a few months, man, I'm late, Queen, sending you love. Thank you, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So I went and took a home buyer's class, and I sat there, you know, and I took notes and everything, and I learned about fixing my credit and all those things or whatever. And I ended up buying a house, right? I ended up buying a house. I bought my first house when I was 27 years old. And let me tell you something. It was not hard. But at the end of the day, I did it by myself, and I went and researched and found out the information by myself. Because I realized when I asked this woman who I looked up to and who was twice my age, she didn't want to give me any information. And at first I was kind of mad. I was like, why is she hating? But then I realized, you know, I don't even have to be mad, because at the end of the day, I should not depend on her or anyone else to do or teach me anything when I know I have a brain, right? And I can go do it for myself. So that's what I did. That's something that we also get caught up in. We start expecting other people to fill some void in our lives, other people to do something for us, when in fact, no one owes us anything. We owe it to ourselves, right? Even if you're in a relationship, here's how some people feel. Some people feel like when they're in a relationship, it's up to their significant other to make them happy. That's not true. It's not their responsibility to make you happy. You see, there are a few words that occur only from within, such as happiness and success. Happiness and success, well, that's defined by you achieving it, right? I mean, we know what happiness looks like, but to actually feel happiness and to feel success, that's something you have to accomplish yourself. You can't expect someone else to make you happy, because if you're sitting there waiting on somebody else to do it, honey, you might be sadly disappointed, okay? Because everyone has flaws and nobody's perfect. And people sometimes let us down. So if you're sitting there waiting on your significant other to make you happy, now you can be happy with them. Make no mistake, there's a difference. You can be happy with someone, depend on the Most High for our blessing. Absolutely, beloved. At the end of the day, you can be happy with someone, but you should not depend on that someone for your own happiness. Happiness comes from within. And in order to achieve true happiness, you have to first be happy with yourself. That means you have to be at peace with yourself. You can't be sitting there saying, oh, you know, I'm just not, you know, I'm not making enough money. You know, I don't like the way I look. I'm not this, I'm not that. Anything you don't like about yourself, guess what? All you have to do is change it. That's all you have to do. We could sit here and whine and complain. You know what I'm saying? There's some things I don't like about myself. But guess what? I work on those things. I don't complain about them. I mean, I complain about them to myself every now and then when I'm sitting in the room. But what I'm saying is I work on them. I work on them. And here's another thing that I always tell people. Prayer without works is dead. Okay? I learned that as a kid. Prayer without works is dead. Because see, I had this friend one time who would always say things that she was gonna do. She would say, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire and this and that. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But then put forth no effort into doing so. Now you can sit here and pray for things all day long, but remember, they say God helps those who help themselves. So you have to get out there and start doing something. You can't just sit here and wait for God to just send things to fall in your lap. No, you have to, just like, let me give you an example. Let's say that you're a single person. You could be a single man or a woman, and you're sitting here hoping to find the right person, your soulmate, and you praying and praying. God, please send me the right person, somebody who's going to love me unconditionally, and I can love them, and this, that, and the third. But if you never get out the house and leave, I'm sorry, who you going to meet? Just sitting up in the house, right? If the only place you go is to the strip club, or you just hanging out on the corner, you know, are you just in the club dropping it like it's hot? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to meet that person. So you need to be doing things that are going to put you in direct alignment with that person, and stop doing things that take you out of alignment with what you want. Whatever you want, you need to be putting yourself and your thinking and yourself in alignment with that. Set yourself up for it, right? Because you often set yourself up for failure and you don't even realize it. It's easy to do that. It's easy to do the wrong thing, but it's not always easy to do the right thing. Okay, and that requires discipline. And when you can discipline yourself, you can focus and accomplish any goal that you set yourself to. But if you're undisciplined, well, that's going to be a much harder road for you to travel. That's what that's going to be. And here's another thing. Stop being people pleasers. Some of us are people pleasers. We care so much about what other people think. Now, I'm not saying it's not good to help other people, you know, to do nice things for other people. That's wonderful. That's good to do. But when I say people pleasers, I mean that you are always so concerned about what other people think of you. That's not what you should. Before you worry about what someone else is thinking, you should worry about what you think of yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem. Worry about how you feel about yourself. Are you somebody that you would be proud of? Are you somebody that you would want to be with if you were another person? Ask yourself those type of questions. Do you feel like you're doing the right thing by yourself and by other people? Don't worry about what other people think, because other people think many different things. And a lot of times other people, they're much more critical of others than they are of their own selves. Like there's some people who sit there. Kevin Samuels is one. When I did the video on him today, yeah, he's very critical of other people, but he doesn't project those same criticisms to himself. You can look at him and tell. He's ego-driven, but he can talk down on others, but not be critical of himself. And that's why you should not rely on what other people think, not always trying to please other people, okay? Because sometimes other people set unrealistic expectations for us if you allow them to. And then another thing is we see people out here, you know, buying all this fancy stuff and doing all these fancy things, at least that we think are fancy. Like, for example, some people go on social media and they go on their friends' pages, the family members' pages or whatever, and it looks like they're living their best life, you know, like they're such in a happy relationship. You may not even be in a relationship. You may be lonely or whatever, heartbroken or whatever, and you see them living what looks like their best life. Let me tell you something. Sometimes these things are just facades, okay? Sometimes these things are just facades. I had a friend one time, seriously, true story. I had a friend one time, you know, and she met this guy and they got married in months. In months they were married. And then all the time I looked up and she was posting all these fabulous pictures of them going on all these trips and just having all this fun and just doing all things. And I was like, wow, she's living it up, you know? And I'm thinking that's good for her. They're having a good time or whatever. But then it was all a facade because things weren't what they looked like. Months later, when she called and said they got a divorce, I was shocked. Like, what? Y'all were just traveling the world and doing this, that, and the third. But you see, a lot of times people post things on social media just for clicks and likes and views and all of that, or just to put up a premise to make people see. Here's the thing. You can be anybody you want to be on social media. That's what you can do. So please don't judge yourself or your circumstance by what you see, the life that you think you see other people living on social media. Okay? Because a lot of stuff on social media is not what it is. Queen Conscious says all the glitter isn't gold, and that is facts. Okay? That is absolute facts. Or to get an illegal immigrant their paper. Minnie's ex, you are wrong for that. Said sometimes people get married to get an illegal immigrant their papers. Yes, some people do. But with that all being said, never compare your situation to the life that you think someone else is living, because it's not always what it looks like, okay? And that's what I mean by trying to, you know, keep up with the Joneses and trying to please other people, are so worried about what other people think. You know, thinking people are going to be like, oh, you know, he's single, he can't find a woman, or she's single, she can't find a man, or whatever. Oh, they lost their job, whatever. Don't worry about what other people think. At the end of the day, you owe those people nothing. And if you lost everything, those same people would not be willing to help you pick up the pieces and put your life back together, honey. So please do not sit there and worry about what other people are saying and thinking about you, because those people have their own problems. And though they may not let you know about it, trust me, they have them, okay? So just think positive and do the best that you can do. And always stay positive and encouraging, and to other people as well. Careful of how, and here's the most important thing. If you have children, make sure that you speak positivity in life into your children. Children are very impressionable. You know, sometimes adults, they're in bad moods. You had a hard day's work or whatever. You come home, the children are getting on your nerves. And, you know, some people just curse the kids out and go off on them before they realize it. And of course, they don't mean the things they say, but after you said it, the damage is done. You see, the thing about emotional scars are they stay with you, right? They don't just leave after a few hours. Like if somebody popped you on the hand or something. Emotional scars and verbal abuse, that stays with you. Sometimes children carry these things into adulthood, and it makes them have dysfunctional relationships. It makes them think it's okay for people to talk to them any kind of way or treat them any kind of way. So that's what you want to refrain from. And like I said, children, they're very impressionable. They absorb things like sponges. So you don't want to talk negative to your children. You don't want to take your anger and frustrations out on your children. You want to speak life and positivity in them. Try this. Every day before your child gets up to go to school, whether they're in a virtual class or they're going to regular, going to the building or whatever, say something positive to them every morning. Because what I have learned from a person very dear to me is that how you start your morning off is how you set the tone for the rest of your day. You know, that's why sometimes you see somebody in a bad mood and people are like, whoa, did you get up on the wrong side of the bed? That's why they say that. Because when you get up in the morning, when you first rise, that is how you set your tone for the day. If you get up in a good mood, your day is likely going to go well, right? Unless some hater comes along and tries to, throw you off course. But usually your day will go well. If you wake up in a bad mood, worried and stressed, or you didn't have a good night's sleep, or somebody ticked you off right before you went to bed and all that, then you'll carry that energy with you throughout the day, 9 times out of 10. So when kids leave to go to school and they're going out into the world with their sweet little selves, I love children. And I think it's very important for us as adults to steer them in the right direction and tell them, beautiful things about themselves. I think that's what we should always do. Give them something that makes them shine like a light, right? When they leave out of the house to go to school. Tell them you're beautiful. You are so magnificent. You are awesome. You're going to have a great day today. You are the best. I am so blessed to have you as my child. I love you. Tell them those type of things. Set them in a good mood. Tell them something, a joke to make them laugh, to put them in a good spirit before they go out into the world. That's what you should do so that your children are at peace. Their vibrations are high. And teach them to meditate. Children can meditate too. They sometimes need to quiet their little minds. And especially in a time where we are seeing a lot of cyberbullying and children taking their own lives, and that just hurts my heart. And I did a video on this a few years ago on Facebook, but I'm going to do another video on that. And I have been pondering on doing it because I know I get emotional about these things. But I'm going to do another video on that because cyberbullying and little children committing suicide because of people saying mean things to them and because they had low self-esteem. Let me tell you something. Every one of those little children had their parents, and I'm not blaming the parents because no parent is perfect and we don't have a handbook to go by when we're raising our children. But I do believe, in my opinion, that if those little children had been given positive reinforcements, if their parents had told them who they were, how special they are, given them positive affirmations, and told them, don't worry about what people say about you because people, they're always going to talk negative about people or whatever. Just know who you are and positively affirm things that they said to them. Queen, thank you for these streams. I feel like I don't have parents, even though they're both. Hold on, beloved. I feel like I don't have parents, even though they're both alive. Mom still gets cussed out by her boyfriend, and my dad was abusive. You give me hope. I have 4 mental illnesses. It's difficult. I am so sorry to hear that, beautiful beloved. I am so sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for your kind words and contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. And send me an email, okay? Send me an email, beloved, at QueenAmadiyyah@gmail.com, and we can talk about that, okay? Mimi says, my babies know who they are. You are always blaring on my TV. They know you are the queen that speaks many languages and speaks the truth. Thank you, Mimi, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and bless your sweet babies. And thank you for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So yes, make sure you say positive affirmations. Because let me tell you something. When I was a child, nobody told me positive affirmations. I grew up with low self-esteem, because I had verbal abuse and physical abuse as a child. Right? And that's not something I share with everybody, but I'm not ashamed of it. It's the truth. And there are many people who go through these things, and we keep it inside, right? In fact, I've written a book about it, and I'm waiting to get it edited, and I'm going to be putting that book out. But at the end of the day, the thing is this: you want to tell children positive things about themselves, because that way, if someone's trying to bully them or pick on them and saying mean and nasty things to them, they will not pay attention to it because they know who they are, right? They know who they are, and you've already told them that at home. And when you give them the love and guidance and encouragement and words of wisdom that they need at home, they'll be less likely to listen to someone out here in the street trying to tell them anything other than who they are. Teach your children that they are kings and queens and that they come from royalty, and that no matter what anyone says, they have a divine destiny. This is what we should tell our children, right? So, yes, absolutely. October Open says that can scar your spirit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can stay with you for years, okay? And I'm a living witness to that. That negativity spoken to a child is something that you carry into adulthood. And it takes a long time to get over it. It causes you to be shy. It causes you to have low self-esteem. It causes you to be doubtful of yourself, to think that you can't do certain things, to always feel, to listen to people's criticisms of yourself, and always feel insignificant. I felt that way for years until I learned who I am. Until I also learned that the person that was treating me that way, that was their problem. It wasn't mine. I didn't do anything, right? All I did was exist. I didn't ask to be here. You understand what I'm saying? So that all being said, absolutely, Queen. Remember, I had you look at my post talking about the kids and keeping our children, they are growing up way before time. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And some of these parents, they need some parenting lessons. A lot of these parents, like I told you, I did a video months ago where the girl had a 3-year-old on a stripper pole because she was a stripper. But okay, it's fine that she's a stripper, but you should want more for your children than what you have for yourself. And that's just anybody. And it doesn't matter if you were a stripper or a doctor. Whatever you did, you still want something more for your child. I mean, your child can be a doctor, but maybe you can teach them to also invest in the stock market. I'm just saying, to invest in real estate. There's different things that we should do, but we should always want to elevate our children past what we achieved in our lives, right? So with that all being said, I'm going to give you all a few more notes, okay? And then I'm going to close out. Affirm who you are. Your dreams, your hopes, your successes. Those are two of the most powerful words that a person can ever say is I am. Like I always tell you, anything you say after I am is what you become. These two small but incredibly powerful words should be considered most precious words that you have in your entire vocabulary. How we need to end the sentence I am defines, or how we end the sentence I am defines who we are ourselves and to everybody around us. So when you say I am fat, lazy, shy, unworthy, ugly, when you say those things, that's how other people will view you. Because if you said it about yourself, like just imagine, if you think those things about yourself, that's what you're going to be projecting. Because whatever we're thinking, whatever we're carrying around in our thoughts, I'm always rocking with you, Queen. Thank you, A.B. the Great. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So as you're sitting here, saying these negative things about yourself, and you're carrying all this stuff around in your mind, this energy, this negative energy, then that's what everyone else is going to see, because that's in fact what you're going to project. Now, you may not be physically ugly, but I guarantee your personality, you'll be acting ugly. You may not even realize it because you'll be in a bad mood. Because if you're sitting at home, just think about this. If you're sitting at home saying, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm lazy, oh, I'm unworthy, I can't find a mate. If you're saying all of that, how are you going to be projecting a positive self-image? You're not. Because you're going to be negative, because your negative thinking is going to be the energy that you're surrounded and encompassed in. And so therefore, you're going to react negatively to other people. So they're going to be like, honey, she's ugly. They're not going to be talking about your facial features. They're going to talk about your personality. Okay? So that's why you don't want to do that. You want to always speak positively about yourself. Positive affirmations, as I always tell you. And by the way, I'll be dropping an ebook next month with positive affirmations for people drenched in melanin, right? So you all can, start saying these positive affirmations. I'm going to have ones for you to say in the morning when you rise, and at the evening when you turn into bed, okay? And then also some for you to say to your children as they go out into the world. So just keep that in mind. But always, whatever you do, speak from the heart. And let me tell you something else that bothers me, that many people do. Many people will say some of the low down, dirtiest, meanest, hateful things to the people they say they love, right? I mean, just get so mad, lose it. Get into an argument and hit below the belt, bring up things from the person's past, you know, just say all kinds of hurtful, mean things. And then later on, now, you know, you didn't mean it, but you just got so mad that you went there. But here's the thing. Those same people, they won't go to their job, and when their boss makes them mad, they wouldn't dare talk like that to their boss. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we can control what we say. That tells us that we can control our emotions. Some people want to say, oh, I just lost it. I couldn't control my emotions. I have a bad temper. You may have a bad temper, but you know how to control that temper. Most of us do. Because if you can sit here and go off on somebody in the house, your mate, your children, or whoever, somebody that you know you love or you claim you love, and you talking to them crazy just because you're in a bad mood or you just blew up for whatever reason or they ticked you off, but you go to work and the boss ticks you off and you sitting at your desk talking under your breath so the boss can't hear you, or you go into your car and you sit at your car on your lunch break cussing the boss out so they can't hear you, but at home you'll cuss out the person that you love. Now I need y'all to make that make sense, okay? So just as you would sit there and think twice before you spoke to your boss that way, think twice when you speak to the people that you love that way, because that really hurts. That really hurts. Thank you, Retta, beloved, for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. That really hurts. So think twice before you say those things out of your mouth. Words are energy, right? Words are energy, and they become physical manifestations, okay? Now I'm going to show you a brief video of Masaru Emoto, the Japanese man who did this science experiment, just showing how negativity can affect different things with this water experiment that he did. Some of you may have seen it, but I'm going to go to this. I'm going to share my screen. Dr. Masaru Emoto, that's his name, okay? And this is a short video. It's only like a minute and 20 seconds. Thank you, Terry, for your contribution, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, let me read a few more of the comments before. Okay, Intrigue Mind says, I always say that a lot of people hold things in order not to hurt someone's feelings until a big argument breaks out and they let it all out. Yes. And when you get into a big argument, it's okay to voice your disagreements and your opinion, but do not say things that are so hurtful that you know you're going to regret them later. Think twice before you say something that you'll regret, and before you say something that you know is going to rip into somebody that you care about. Because if you love somebody, you should never want to hurt them, okay? Yes, the rice and water experiment. Yes, absolutely, beloved. Vince says, trying to stay positive as my family treat me like I am crazy. Vince, do they treat you like that because you're woke, beloved? Because if so, welcome to the bunch. You know, this is something that we all deal with. When we're on our spiritual journey, we start to awaken from the slumber and start to see things for as they truly are. Our family will think we're crazy. I have the same issue with some of mine. But guess what? I don't let them stop me, because I know that I'm doing the right thing. I know that I'm researching, studying, I'm gathering information. You see, these people who are not woke, let me tell you something about them. They have no facts and receipts. They're not out here researching. If they were researching, they would be woke too. It's a fact. They would be woke too, because they would know what we know. The fact that they're not and they're still in the slumber, it just means they don't research and read. Too lazy to do it. Now, at the end of the day, that's to their own detriment, but don't let it be to yours. And here's another thing. When they speak to us and they talk down about the things that we're saying or trying to teach them, and they say, oh, we're conspiracy theorists. Well, you know what the thing is? They're speaking from emotion. That's all they're doing, is speaking from emotion. And like I told you before, like a wise man once told me, you have to rise above emotions. Okay, that's what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches. Okay, and someone who follows the minister taught me that. So with that all being said, you cannot allow them to bring you down. Stay woke, never sleeping. All right, they are queens. So I was so pissed when I just asked them, am I thinking of when I just asked them, I am thinking of growing my hair into locks. Oh, so they didn't think that was a good idea, huh? Those are your spiritual antennas, beloved. Grow your locks, okay? Grow your locks. Pay attention. They speak of locks in the Bible. They say King Solomon had locks. They say Samson had locks, right? And that he got his strength from his hair. That's an allegory because we get our strength from our hair. It's called our mental strength, our brain power. These are our spiritual antennas connecting us to the Most High in the universe, okay? Extensions of the central nervous system, all right? We are the only race of people that have hair. Pay attention, all right? Everyone else has fur. That's just a scientific fact. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the scientists said, hey. So with that all being said, yeah, they love to fight against locks. Yes, they do, broken silence. Absolutely. That's why. So let me show you all this experiment, and I'm going to share my screen. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share the video. Okay. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already.
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
Tell some dreamy story, but almost.
Okay, and that's absolutely true. Let me tell y'all something. When people are running around here with these little bad, nefarious kids who go up here and shoot up schools, who go out here and join gangs and kill people, you know, who going out here just doing all kinds of felonious crimes and stuff. I'd like to know what the parents were saying to those children. Were these parents telling them, "Oh, I love you. You're so wonderful. You're worthy of everything that you want. You can be anything that your heart desires. You're a gift from God. I'm so glad to have you." Are those parents talking to them like that? Are they saying, "You're an idiot. You're so stupid. You're just like your no good father. I wish I never had you. Why were you born?" Are they talking to them like that? I'm pretty sure it's the second. Okay? I'm pretty sure it's the second. So when we have children that are out here acting out and lashing out, often, not 100% of the time, but most often, they are being talked down to when they're little. And that negativity fills up inside of them. And as they get older, it starts to come out. Okay? It starts to come out. They start to release it. And they start acting out as the way they were taught to. And that's how that all begins. Okay? So it's very important how you talk to your children and how you talk to and about yourself. Okay? It's okay to talk to yourself. I talk to myself, especially when I need an expert opinion. Okay? With that all being said, say positive affirmations to yourself when you rise in the morning and before you go to bed, to close your eyes at night. And that will help. Try to refrain from negative thinking. Always try to look for the bright side of anything that's going on. Try to find a positive in it. And don't be quick to anger. Okay? Think twice. Don't wear your emotions on your sleeves. And as Black people, we are so guilty of that. But you have to try to navigate around that, because that's what gets us into these issues. Okay? Like the young man, the Dunkin' Donuts employee. Now he's facing 30 years. You don't want to be him. Now, we can get angry about certain things, but it's what you do to control that anger that's important. Okay? Anger is just an emotion that we feel. Now, it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to allow it to fester and become physical. It's a thought at first. All right? With that all being said, I love you all. I hope you all enjoyed this broadcast. Make sure you like and share this video. Make sure you like and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to follow the Queen on Instagram at QueenAhmadiyyah. Also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27. On Brighton and Patreon at QueenAhmadiyyah. And on Twitter at dgoddess27. Don't forget to tune back in the morning to the Queen Ahmadiyyah TV show at 9 a.m. for your morning wake-up call. Okay, so enjoy the rest of this night. And until next time, Royal Family, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.